Alright, so over this past year, I've spent a lot of time playing Corepunk. At this point, coming up on 100 hours in total between all the various tests that I've taken part in, and in that time, the fundamentals of the game have remained intact. Corepunk is still very much so an old school inspired, slow and deliberate open world MMORPG. But also, based on testing feedback, they have made many adjustments and improvements to the game over these past several months, the latest of which being those that were added for Alpha Test 4, which is what I've been playing over these past few weeks. All of this preparing the game in the lead up to its official early access release, which is happening very shortly. So today's video is sponsored by Artificial Core. They've asked me to give you an overview of the game as it is currently, covering all—
I will say this game does not look fun at all. Nothing about this screams fun. I don't know if this 17-minute video is going to change my opinion.
Of the basics, its recent changes, and giving my overall thoughts after all this time. So let's get into it. I want to start off with a quick overview of what Corepunk is. If you've not kept tabs on the game or haven't watched any prior videos, this should help get you up to speed. So Corepunk is an isometric open world game that blends elements of MMOs, MOBAs, and ARPGs. It has many of the expected MMO content, feature, and progression systems, with an isometric camera perspective and gameplay that is quite reminiscent of MOBAs. All of this set in a large, seamless open world with diverse biome variety, PvE and PvP offerings, and opportunities for both solo and group play. Now, one thing they really lean into is the game's old school inspirations, harkening back to a time prior to the modern day guardrails and handholding so often seen. No, Corepunk asks you at pretty much every turn to figure things out on your own. This includes figuring out the locations of quest objectives and NPCs, where to go to farm certain resources, how to craft items, what you're even supposed to be doing at any given point in time. Pretty much everything demands that you pay attention, read the dialogue, and figure out what to do, where to go, and how to progress. When describing their target audience, the developer has said that Corepunk is for players who miss the old school immersive experience of classic MMOs, value
You know what this screams to me? It screams developers who have a passion for MMOs, clearly. They want to make a classic old school feel, but don't quite have the capabilities or time or budget or whatever to make what they wanted to make. So they got this. Because if they, I'll say this, if they're truly passionate about classic old school immersive RPGs and MMOs, you don't make a top-down. You just don't. You make a top-down, and this is going to sound very polarizing, very extreme, but more often than not, I feel like you make a top-down if you just can't make the game that you wanted to make. That's just my opinion on top-downs, but because I don't like top-downs very much. I just feel like if you want to be immersed, you're not immersed top-down. You're just not. You're not. You're immersed being in there, you know? But that's you know, maybe that's a polarizing thought, but that's what I usually get from a lot of games like this. Just be a little easier, you know.
exploration and self-discovery, enjoy—
Shots fired at PoE 2. Listen, ARPG completely different. That's ARPGs and MOBAs, like that is how those games are made. That's totally different. I'm talking about when you're making a open world MMORPG that's seamless, immersive, classic feat. You know what I mean? You just don't do that like this. You just don't. You won't get the same result. The only game that I've seen get close is Lost Ark, but they weren't going for that classic old school no holding hands route. They were going the route of intense, fast, mechanically difficult combat. And they nailed it. The rest of Lost Ark is not very good. The exploration, the open world, you just don't get it. You'll never get that immersive feeling. You just won't. I never, for all my 600 hours or however long I played, 1,000 hours of Lost Ark, I don't even know. All of those hours, I never felt immersed. I never felt like I was really there. So that was the point of what I was saying.
A MOBA combat and mechanics and appreciate ARPG depth and build crafting. Now, as for key features of the game, one of the first immediately obvious standouts is the game's perspective and its combat, which is one of the things that I've liked most about playing Corepunk. The game really does feel like the MMO version of Dota or League, with the fundamentals of movement and combat being nearly identical. It's got click to move, so your character will...
I mean, there are chemicals for that. Wait, what? Chemicals for what? Listen, I don't even remember the last. I don't even remember, 30 seconds ago. Don't know what I said. Oh, immersion. Oh, nice. Sorry. Way over my head. Fucking gone. Have you ever felt immersed in retail WoW for the last 10 years? Nah.
will go to where you click on the ground. This is how you reposition your character as well as perform its basic attacks. And then beyond those, a majority of your abilities and spells are all skill shots that you have to aim, oftentimes requiring you to predict the future.
What game is this? This is Corepunk. Apparently it just came out like 30 minutes ago or something. They're trying the MMORPG route, but like MOBA style. To me, I don't think I'm gonna play this game. I'm giving this video a couple minutes because I'm curious to help solidify my opinion on probably not wanting to play it. But yeah.
Position of your target, especially the case in PvP. Now, you've only got a handful of skills. These are active abilities that are predetermined based on the subclass that you pick, which is sort of like characters in a MOBA. But also like MOBAs, the challenge and the skill to the combat all comes to how you position your character, your use of auto attacks, and properly timing your cooldowns. There's even a fog of war mechanic where all you can see is what's in your direct field of view, which can often be obstructed by things like the environment, terrain, and buildings. This plays a big role in both PvE and PvP. So yeah, how you move, how you attack, even the fog of war mechanic, again, it basically plays like a MOBA in an MMO world. And yes, the combat, as I said, is one of the things that I've liked most about Corepunk. Health management also still plays a big role, although they have made many improvements so that it's less of a pain than it was in the past. Now, it is still the case that by default, when below 90% health, there is no baseline out of combat health regeneration. In the past, this was quite the hassle, but it has gotten better for two main reasons. Number one, any health regen consumables, from food to potions and even the campfires, this is all just far more abundant. It is pretty easy to stay stockpiled on all of this stuff. But then also two, there is an entire skill tree that as a baseline grants you out of combat health regeneration.
He sounds a lot less excited than Avowed. Yeah, dude, he was stoked. His energy when he was talking about Avowed was way up here. With this game, it's like down here. Yet he's played 5 times the amount of hours playing this game. You know, that's crazy.
This is the Pathfinder tree, and it is tailored for solo players in order to let you stay topped off and not require constant.
New Spud Hunter videos, Giga Chad. Is that the Giga Chad emote? What is that? Oh, it's based. Why did I think it's the Giga Chad emote? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's clearly not Giga Chad. Giga Chad's the guy that looks like Wake. God, I have fallen off in the Twitch culture. Fuck.
Downtime in between fighting enemies. This has been a great addition, and I've really enjoyed using this skill tree. Now, don't get it wrong, the game still does have a much slower pacing than what you might expect from a modern MMO, but they have taken the edge off a bit, especially with the out-of-combat regeneration, thanks to those changes. Now,
Am I crazy? Or does this guy kind of look like me? Like, let me take off my glasses. Like, and now imagine I had my facial hair. You know? Here, hold on. Hold on. Let me Google myself really quick. Take off the glasses. If only I could grow a full beard. I can't grow a full beard. I can't grow this, but still no. Bro, he looks like me. I guess I look like him.
The out of combat regeneration thanks to those changes. Now, much of your time playing this game will be spent exploring the open world.
You're way more dorky. He has a full beard, so there's that. Listen, it's not my fault I can't grow anything on my cheeks, okay? You know, I don't know if this is TMI or not, but I don't have hair growing on my cheeks, and I also don't have hair growing on my chest. My whole body, my back, my front, whatever, hairless, clean, smooth. Except my ass. You start getting lower, and it starts getting wild. Like, once you go below the hips, whew.
World, doing quests, taking on the PvE threats, and PvPing against other players, as Corepunk features one big, fully open, seamlessly explorable play space. Now, there are currently 3 main biome types that you're going to be exploring in the game.
It's on my mind now. No, it's bad, dude. It's bad. It's bad. But that's okay. I clean myself up, just like we all do. You know? I have to, because if I don't, shit gets stuck in my hair. And that sucks.
You've got the forest region, which includes farmlands and wooded areas. This likely makes up most of the footage that you're seeing about this game, and that's because the first several hours take place in and around Golden Field, which has this forest farmland biome mix. But then on top of that, you've got the swamps added not too long ago in an update.
Boys, I'll be honest, this game fucking sucks. I can't watch another 12 minutes of this. This is fucking awful. This game looks like dog shit.